Hey fellow traders, welcome to Dean's Dojo. This is my journal. This was the 30th of August, and one important thing, Al Brooks has this free blog, right? And he also writes general interesting things about the longer time frame. And one thing that is really pretty epic is if we don't close below, look, I can show you it's the monthly even. Let's try to load the monthly chart. If we do not close below like 4,397, that would be more than 100 points down, right? More. Today, it's not possible basically. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bullish bars on the monthly chart. 7 bars in a row with a bull body. And I think it happened once or twice before in the 25 years of the E-mini, since this futures market exists here, this E-mini S&P 500. And that means, because 8 bull bars in a row never existed, and so the likelihood, it is a high likelihood that September will be a bear bar on the monthly chart. You know, these things are just so interesting. Because that also means the bulls, of course, they would like if, look, the bar from August. The bar from August is so bullish so far. The bears would already, in anticipation of September, would like it if the bar closes not too much on the high, right? And the bulls would just like it if it stays there for today. So that's, 31st today is the last day of August. That's just a little thing. I think it's just interesting statistics in a way. Okay, so let's look at the day. We all know that people got an epic runner here from the second entry. What was it? Failed second entry. Why don't you go away? Here from either second entry long, failed second entry short, or a higher low. You could enter basically anywhere. I had to teach, so I was I was here, and then I had to leave, and I came back after the whole run is over. But what can you do? I would anyway not have had a runner in this sense, because I'm just mostly trading one contract of the micro E-mini, right? What I could do though is take this failed breakout, because I had additional, or basically I just played my new in place indicator strategy, which in the end, like more and more I realize that the price action, it's all there, right? But so far for me, it's like I said, like the little wheels on the bike as a little kid to drive. It gives you additional help. Because it crosses above the 75, it comes down again. And my premise is I can only take these if we're in a ranging market, okay? And for me, my premise was it has a little upward bias, but it's more or less a ranging market. So then I entered because I have to. And the problem then was that I got scared. That's just not cool, because then I got out with just a tick of profit. And also because probably I wanted to take too much profit, so I entered here, stop loss. Now I need my crosshairs again. I just want to double check quickly. Up here, 75, and then if I made only 2 to 1, I think that would have been, that would have been good. So, did I enter here? Yeah, I think so. 2 to 1 would have been exactly good. And I think more than that is a bit greedy, but that could also be biased just because of now it didn't work. I think overall it's good. If you have 2 to 1, you can put it to break even. If you get stopped out, that's hard life. That's just how it works. It's not too bad. It worked. Then I came back, and one interesting thing that Thomas also said in his video is the gap bars of Al Brooks, because then I mostly watched the 5-minute chart. Also this, of course, and also, of course, after it runs up, I have this channel immediately in play, probably like that. Look, honestly, I have it like this, from the low connecting to these, so it would be like that. That would be so this is actually a break of that big channel, right? That is because you would connect it from here to the close, so even more like that. So we have the first break. We see it's nicely 2 legs down. After this huge run up, another thing is the indicator is the RSI is in oversold condition here, and that's okay because we are in a ranging / upward market right here. So either it's upward or it's ranging, it's not yet reversing. That's what this channel tells me. And also, you know, if you study a bit of Albrook's, you have this epic leg up, you're not just probably going to reverse on a dime. That would be very unexpected. So when I came in, it was really literally as this bar formed, and it is the first 2 or 3 gap bars, or closing below it's the first gap bar or second one, and the first 3 bars closing below the EMA for the whole day. And that's an immediate buy, especially if you see very nice 2 legs down. I mean, that is just beautiful trade. And you know, when you have that many confirmations, you would feel really good about the trade. Even if it doesn't work, you know you would take it 100% of the time. I can afterwards switch on my markers. Then we got a 1 second entry short failed, and I entered above here again. And look, it survived to the tick because it made a double bottom. So I entered, I entered here above this one because it's a failed second entry short on the 5-minute chart, and it just comes after the failed second entry short on the 2K. So again, the 2K tick chart, you can say it's enough. Of course it's enough. But yeah, it's just additional confirmation here. And actually, I took it here first. Then I saw that we formed this nice 5-minute bar here. It doesn't really matter. Then I only took a tick of that and said, if we trigger the failed second entry short on the 5-minute, I can enter again, because it was really just a tick. But I thought if we're going to reverse from here, then, you know, no harm done, right? So then this one was okay, and I took my 2 points or something. Of course, I wanted to go again for 2 to 1, but then I think one I took here for 2 points, and the other one I managed probably a bit weirdly, because I would have gotten the whole 3 to 1 from this first trade. Okay, but the entries are really good, really sound, I think. Then the third trade, and the next one was this double top, and now this is all 5-minute stuff. We have a huge trend, it breaks, and here we can say the bears see a double top, major trend reversal possible. So I entered here, and I think the only thing here is now, if you take this big trade, this double top major trend reversal, probably you want to just swing it and leave your stop above. But this is one thing I'm not sure about, and I'm not there yet with studying Albrook's, how to manage your stop. Do you really just get out above each next bar? Because that's what I did. I exited above this bar again with 1 point loss. Then I re-entered because it's a low 1, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bear bars in a row. Plus my premise still stands, it could be a major trend reversal, and we could just go down. We could start here and then go down, right? Okay. So I entered here again, and I exited above this bull bar again with like a couple ticks of a loss. The scalp would have been out, but I don't just scalp on the 5-minute chart. I don't mostly swing. Then we have a triple bottom here. So the bulls see that as a high 2, and that's a good buy because a huge bullish bar, high 2 buy. So when I exited, I entered again with the bulls. And then on the other hand, because we could, the whole point of these entries and little losses, you take little losses, is that you see it could break down here. Then you're in this swing trade. When it doesn't, you could go up here for the next leg up, because it's like a head and shoulders bull flag, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder. That's the head and shoulder bull flag with the neckline here. So if we break above here, we could be off to the races. So it's good to enter here. However, when we see all these little dojis and then a big bear bar, I exit again with like a point loss or less. And I reverse my order to a sell order. And now we got the swing, right? And here I took it to, that was nearly 2 to 1. I think 2 to 1 would have been down here. But I exited here at the double bottom. And I think that's safe for me at the moment, because it's also the 15-minute moving average here. So I think it was a good exit. What is interesting for me to learn is Al marks these 2 bars as the big surprise bulls. They break out above a wedge. 1, 2, 3, that's the wedge. And the bears would like to, you know, that's a wedge, and now we go down. But then huge breakout, surprise. And the prices in the end of the day come back to test exactly that region here. And I think that's a thing. It's just for me a mental note. Magnets, what are magnets at the end of the day, right? Okay. So I'm not happy with the managing of these two, because if I just went away and let it at my target, because on 2K tick chart as well, I expect to make at least the same high, you know, a retest of the high. So my original exit would be at 34. That was up here. And in all this mess, I exited. And that's 2 points or something that I left on the table there, just because of looking at the chart and being scared and not sticking to my guns. Okay. So, but you know, do you see, like, I had, okay, these were winners, but then loser, 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 right? And one winner, but that's more than enough, like enough. I made money on that day. I made a bit of money. It's not about the money at the moment because I trade micros, but I was green and I took okay trades. I want to show you Al Brooks's chart here. And you see double top major trend reversal, exactly. And I wrote that on my chart. So I'm very happy that I realized these things. EMA gap bars. And that's just the free version, you know, where he really just writes the couple most important things. And I realized this one, I realized that. And you see at the low one, he sells again. Double bottom, he buys again, or it's possible to buy again. And then double top pullback. So that's, for me, it's also a lower high major trend reversal. And that's good. See the sell here? All good. So I'm pretty happy to see that. And the point is just we cannot know. It could also really just go up here. That would be on the 2K tick chart. Would be here. We made a new high. Not yet. We didn't make a new high. We made an equal high. And we could just rip. Right? Why not? Instead, we come down. And that's maybe a magnet thing, which I have to learn also. Yeah, so I guess that's all. What did I want to say more? One indicator thing that is nonsense is the RSI trendline strategy. Look, I wanted to explain that yesterday. There is a strategy that says you can make a trend line on the RSI when you're in a correction. So let's take this correction. So on the RSI, that's this line. So I make this trend line, and they say when it breaks, you can enter with the trend again. But this clearly here doesn't work because you get stopped out. Let's just look at others. Here we have a correction. We have a short-term trend line down. Here you could enter back with the trend. Yeah, okay, here it works. We take the bigger trend line like this. We break here. That is exactly up here. And that would be not a good spot, I would say. Well, for a scalp, but that's not what you want. My whole point is, nearly always, it's the same rules as in price. You break at the trend line on the RSI and you make a new low. You break the trend line and you attempt to make a new low. What happens then is a divergence, you know, divergence. So basically divergence are so powerful because they let this play out on the RSI, but they also show you, again, that it doesn't even make a new low. It's too weak, the momentum. But so this is like, I know already this strategy I would never apply. I would never draw the trend line here and just enter with the trend when it breaks, because I know that it wants to make a new low, just like in price. And then you're good. Then that's why this entry, and I want to emphasize this again, Thomas said takes it because it's just the second entry. With the trend at the trend line, it breaks in my version, but we have gap bar, that's enough. That alone is enough. Then we have, as we said here, the trend line break, want to make a new high. But we also have here an oversold indicator. So these all, like, if you see all these things, and we see trend line breaks and makes a new low on the indicator, so then you're so calm taking this trade. You're so easy take a trade. Okay, good. Yeah, I'll go on studying, because I think the main thing it's not indicators and stuff. Indicators are just like little helpers. Maybe they can confuse also. I will see about that. But the main thing is reading price. Like from Al Brooks, I learned so much from reading the price like this and studying Al Brooks, that you just are much more comfortable, and you know it's not just a one-sided thing. You always know there is two sides to the whole story, but you make up your mind and say, now I go with the bears because they have a reasonable sell. Yeah, okay, so that's all for today. I hope you are having a nice day, and see you next time. Bye bye.